How to submit your work after this class. Open live.yolo.com in any browser. Explore classes that you can register for. Click on Submit your work. Choose the name of the student to register for the class. Click on Submit your work. Upload image. Choose image and click on Submit. Explore your work under My Submissions. Like and share your work by copying the link. Please upload your pictures in landscape mode. Click a picture with your work and post it on Facebook and Instagram. Don't forget to tag us at YOLO app. Use hashtags #YOLO app and #YOLO learning.
Hey everyone! How's everyone doing today? Is everybody safe at home? Yes? And is everybody looking after themselves as well? I want to know everything in the chat box. Good evening everyone. Awesome. Okay. And are you excited for today's class? Because I'm super excited to teach you something new today. Firstly, do you know what class it is today? Okay, so it is English class with Neva ma'am. Yeah, my name is Neva and I'm going to be your teacher for today. And we're going to be watching this very interesting English story. And we're going to understand what the story is about together. And then we're going to play some fun games and quizzes related to the story. All right, so are you excited and are you ready for this? I want to know in the chat box. Give me a thumbs up if you are ready. Have you also invited some of your friends? Yes? Do you have some of your friends doing the class with you? Give me a thumbs up if you have friends here as well. Let me know in the chat box. Okay, so what you need for today's class is your 100% focus and attention. I don't want anybody to be restless or be texting on their phones or maybe worried about what they're going to eat, etc., etc. No, I just want your full focus and attention for my class. I'm not going to take too much time, I promise you. And the class is going to be super entertaining as well. So I wanted to sit back, relax, and pay 100% attention to what I'm going to be showing you on the screen in a couple of moments, all right? And I also hope that you are all making your submissions on time because it's really important to meet the deadline. Yeah, we have a deadline of 2 days after every class, and you have to make the submission within those 2 days. So, for instance, if we're having a class today, from today onwards, you have 2 days to make your submission for English. All right, so don't forget that you have 2 days to complete your assignment and upload it on our website live.yulo.com so that I'll have access to it and I'll be able to see all of your amazing submissions. All right. So I want all of you to submit it. That's why I would really appreciate it if all of you sit down and don't be distracted and focus on what is going to be shown on the screen in a few moments. All right. I would love to check all of your assignments and see who's got the best mark, who has the neatest handwriting, and who has really listened to the story that I'm going to be showing to you. All right. So let's not waste any more time and let's directly go to the story. Super. Are you ready? Give me a quick thumbs up in the chat box to let me know that you're ready so that I can start the story. And I hope all of your friends are here. I hope you have got everything that you need, maybe a notebook, maybe a pen to take notes, because I'm going to say some really important stuff. And if you miss out on that, if you don't remember it, then you're not going to get a perfect score on the quiz or even in the assignment, right? So pay attention to what I'm saying. If you need a notebook, if you need a pen, keep that ready, keep that handy as we go through the story. All right, let's begin. Whoops, what just happened? So that was the first part of the story. And now let's just dive deeper and understand what exactly happened in the story right here. Okay. So it opens with this grandfather dude. All right. He's an old man. And he's keeping a close eye on his house. You know, old people are usually very sneaky. They want to know what's happening in their house. They want to know what their neighbors doing. They want to know what their neighbor's friends doing. So it's that kind of an old guy, all right. And you can see him keeping an eye on his house, especially his kitchen, all right. And now you can see the entry of the second character, the mouse, all right. The little mouse has made an entry, and he's headed towards the kitchen for sure, because that's where you get all the food. And off he goes. He's sniffing and he's smelling and checking if the parts all clear. Now, the old man doesn't want to be caught, so he hides behind the sofa. And this little guy, is headed towards the kitchen to explore and try to find something. It's a lot like us. When we're super hungry, we're studying for exams, and we need to eat Maggie, we're just going to head to the kitchen and go and get us Maggie. But then mom's going to yell at us because, hey, why are you having Maggie in the middle of the night? That's not done. So, if you get me, you get me. Okay, cool. So now you have this little mouse going headed towards the kitchen, and he's super careful that he is not seen by the old man. But little did he know. And now he is just taking a circle around the box, which he finds very interesting. Of course, because he's a mouse, right? So mice usually like dark places. So he's really fond of this box and he happens to go underneath so that he isn't caught or whatever he thinks he's up to. Mouse logic, really. It's really hard to get mouse logic sometimes, right? And off he goes into the box. And the old man's really smart, you know, for his age, he's pretty smart. So he's got this matchstick by which he held the box up. And I was actually expecting a mouse trap, you know, where you have the trees and stuff. Tom and Jerry reference if you guys watched it. But this guy's got a matchstick right here, and the mouse has gone inside the box. So the matchstick obviously can't take the weight, and the mouse is gonna run around inside the box and probably just, you know, hit the edges. So the man is really hoping that the matchstick falls off, which it does, of course. So I really like this comparison here, you know. The droplet is about to fall from the tap, and the amount of time it takes for the droplet to fall is the amount of time it takes for the box to fall down, if you know what I mean, right? So I really liked this concept of this film. It's very interesting. Okay, so the old man is like super happy. This is the best thing I've achieved. I don't need anything else in life. This is the best thing I've done. I mean, I don't need to get a full score in math or in English or in Hindi, but I need to have caught a mouse in a box, and that's the best thing ever. So this guy's like really happy. He's dancing. He's having the time of his life. But then now he needs to do something with the mouse, right? He needs to get rid of it. So he's really thinking of what should I do now? How do I get rid of this mouse? So he sees a window. He's like, oh my God, yes, I'm just going to throw the mouse out. But he's not that rude, you know. He has some feelings and emotions. So he's trying to first figure a way out to get the mouse out. So he doesn't have servants at home, as we can clearly see. He's a lonely guy, lives by himself, and he needs to figure out ways on his own. So he's got this newspaper lying out there. Oh, by the way, fun fact, I know French, and le journal is the French word for the newspaper. Okay, so if any of you guys study French, you can just let me know in the chat box and we can connect over French. Okay, so he stretches out to get the newspaper, and this is like a normal incident at home, right? Whenever there's a cockroach at home and mom freaks out, or there's a lizard at home and mom freaks out, or anyone freaks out at home, and dad needs to like, oh my god, figure out, do I take a chappal and hit it, or do I take a newspaper and spread out? Because sometimes you're not supposed to kill the animal, right? So that's the normal incident. That's what it reminded me of right here. And he's just taken the insect, sorry, not the insect, the mouse, and he's kept it at the windowsill. Okay, ready to go. But the funny part is now when he hears a cat scream, okay, like a cat just goes meow, and the man's panicking because he's actually a really compassionate and caring guy, okay, and he's got to save this mouse. So he doesn't want to leave him out that way because he knows what's going to happen if the cat meets the mouse. So he's nice that way, right? So I'm not going to tell you what happens next, but we're going to play a quick quiz and see how much of that you understood. All right. So can everybody click on the link in the chat box? There'll be a link there. Just click on it and type your name and click on start game, and you'll be able to see all the questions, and you'll be able to see all the options for the questions. Select the one that fits you best and come back and we'll discuss the answers together. All right, in case you're having a problem with the link, don't worry, mostly they pin it on the top of the chat so you can just click it there. But if you still can't find it, ask a family member to help you out with it, or refresh the page if that helps. But once you're done, just let me know in the chat box. Give me a done or give me a thumbs up so that we can discuss the answers together and see who got it right. All right. Okay, so I can see that most of you are solving the quiz. Just give me a thumbs up or a done in the chat box so I know that you're done with it, and then we can discuss the answers. Yeah, I can also see that most of you are getting full marks. So I see this is a very clever class. If you have any doubts regarding the assignment, I'm going to be explaining that at the end of the class. So after we're done with watching the story and doing quizzes, I'm going to be taking up the assignment at that time. So just keep those doubts on hold, all right? Giving you guys 1 more minute to finish the quiz, after which we're going to discuss it together. Okay, I see most of you are done with it. I see a lot of thumbs ups and dones in the chat. So let's take up the quiz now and discuss it together, right? What was the old man trying to do? Was he dancing with the mouse, trapping the mouse, or playing with the mouse? So most of us have got this question correct. It is he was trying to trap the mouse in Higgins, right? How did the old man cover the bottom of the box? With a plate or with a newspaper? What did he use? He used a newspaper, right? Very good. Why did the old man decide not to place the box outside? Sorry, because it was snowing, because he didn't want the mouse to be eaten by the cat, because of the rain. This was an obvious one. It is because he didn't want the mouse to be eaten by the cat. What is the other word for hidden? Is it disclosed, revealing, or concealed? What comes to mind? So I think some of you got really confused with disclosed and concealed, and the power up or the redemption question saved you. But the answer is concealed. So be careful. You can remember it from this Disney movie called Frozen. You know that song Elsa keeps singing? Conceal, don't fear, that one. So that conceal is to hide, right? Okay. The old man danced a dash, gleefully, already dejectedly. He was clearly happy, right? So another synonym for happy is gleefully. Awesome. So we're done discussing all of the questions, and I see most of you have also got it right. So we can head back to the story and see what happens next. What do you think is gonna happen next? Do you think the old man will figure out another way to get rid of the mouse, or do you think he'll just make his peace with it? Let me know in the chat box what your thoughts are. Because the story can go anyway. We have no idea. We haven't watched it before, right? Okay. Well, let's watch to find out. All right, so before we move on to the next segment of the story, let's understand what happened right here. Okay, so very interestingly, the story starts off with the old man trying to find out what must he do with the box. All right, he's really confused. He doesn't know what to do, and he's got this really serious expression on his face, almost like it's a murder scene or something very serious is going to happen. Usually you have such a setup in an operation theater or during an interrogation police station, which is giving me that really spooky look, right? Especially the lighting, it's bluish, so that makes it even more doubtful. And I really like that aspect of the story. Even this scene, with the lights are really dim, and it's just the old man in the house, nobody else. So he could either be a serial killer or an angel. You cannot predict, okay? And he's ready with the pitchfork in his hand, as you can see. And I really like the shot because it's just like he's gonna do something crazy. That's what we get the impression of, right? So our hearts are racing, like it's a poor little mouse. Just let him go. Why are you doing that? But then he stops, and then there's a change of mood. As you see, the light changes, the way he's holding the pitchfork changes, his body language is so much more warmer. It's just so interesting to watch that stories can communicate so much more than just normal things. So he was actually making the hole so that the mouse can breathe, right? Because there was no breathing space for him and oxygen needs to go in. Now he's being so considerate, giving him some water in a cap, or he's also got some breadcrumbs ready to give to the mouse so that he won't feel hungry. It's just very compassionate, considerate, caring. All of those beautiful qualities come out through this scene. It's almost like he's a father to the mouse. And he's also giving him a little treat. But he's being a father who is capturing the mouse in the box, which might be contradictory, but it is what it is. But the mouse is very stubborn on his own. He's sort of angry, like how we throw a fit at our parents sometimes, and we're like, no, but why did you give this to my sister? Why didn't you give it to me? Right? How many of you can relate? Or sometimes your parents are just like, no, you can't watch television, or no, I'm going to cut the Wi-Fi, or you can't be playing video games, blah blah. So all of this keeps happening to us all the time, and sometimes we're just really mad at our parents. How can you do that? Really mad as in get really angry. And that's what is really funny to watch, because this time it's just not a human relationship, it's a relationship with an old man and a mouse, which gives it a humanist angle, but also makes us realize that we are the same. Just as human beings, we are very alike. So the old man has sympathy on the mouse, and he sort of wants to see what's happening. Okay, and he sees the mouse is really angry. But he doesn't understand. He's confused. Somehow he knows he's wrong at what he's doing, because he was just fooling around with the mouse. But he's also trying to figure out how to make up to him. So this is the idea he comes up with. Tries to give him the breadcrumb nicely, but the mouse is, of course, a stubborn little mouse. He's also angry, right? And so he decides to eat it himself. And that's something the mouse cannot deal with at all. But did he really eat it? So that's a lot like our parents, right? Where they tell us that, hey, I'm going to take this away from you for 10 days. But do they really do that? Sometimes some of our parents are really nice. So they won't really do that. So it's a lot like the grandfather, the old man. He's just being a real awesome grandfather right now. And he just gives the breadcrumb back to the mouse. And the mouse thinks it's magic. It's magically come back. Abracadabra, poof, but not really. He was just hiding it in his hand. This is more like a fatherly emotion where he's just so happy and he wants to connect with the mouse once again, but the mouse just runs away because they're clearly different in their own way, right? I mean, he's a human, the other's an animal. The animal doesn't understand what the human feels sometimes, so he runs off. And the old man is left all alone again. He's lonely. He's by himself. Anyway, he doesn't have friends. He doesn't have anyone at home. The mouse was his only companion, and he's gone as well. So he's left all alone again. Okay, kids. Time for another quiz. The link is with you in the chat box. You can click on it and enter your name and click on Start Game. And you will have all the questions display on your screen. The moment you're done, let me know in the chat box. Write done, give me a thumbs up, and then we will discuss the question answers. All right? If you have any questions regarding the assignment, keep them on hold for now because I'll be taking that up after the story is over. If you have any questions regarding the quiz that you don't understand, that you cannot find it, if you cannot find it, just ask a family member to help you out. But it's definitely in the chat box. It's probably pinned to the top, so you'll be able to see that. And if you're still not able to find it, just ask a family member to help you out, okay? I can see most of you are done with it. I'm going to give you 1 more minute though. Okay, I see most of you are getting the answers correct. The moment you're done, just drop me a done in the chat box. Let me know um, what your score is. Let me know what your percentage is. Okay, I think it's time now. We can discuss the quiz. I can see that most of you are done. So I will begin with the discussion of the quiz. All right. What did the old man give the mouse while it was in the box? Chocolates, coffee, and rice, water, breadcrumbs, and air to breathe, or nothing? He gave him water, breadcrumbs, and air to breathe. Okay, that was pretty straightforward. We saw that in the film as well. How did the old man convince the mouse to eat the breadcrumb? By doing my magic trick by offering it money. So he did like that abracadabra magic trick, right? So that would be the first answer. Super. As we're discussing the questions, you can put the answers in the chat box as well. Okay. Do you think the old man wanted to hurt the mouse? Yes or no? The answer is yes. No, right? Of course, he didn't want to hurt the mouse. The mouse was like family to him, probably his only friend in the house. The old man felt bad. He offered the mouse some water. Choose the correct conjunction that best connects the two sentences. What is the answer? Is it and, so, or? What is the answer? The old man felt bad and he offered the mouse some water. double jeopardy. So I'm gonna get double points. This is one of my favorite power-ups. Okay. What does to be mad at someone mean? Does it mean angry at someone or does it mean proud at someone? Proud of someone. It is, I used it a couple of times in my sentences, right? It is to be angry at someone. Okay. All done so far. So I see that most of you got the conjunctions wrong. Okay. Instead of putting and, you wrote so. So just be careful there. Okay. Conjunction is a word that you use to join two different sentences, right? So there are different types of conjunction, sorry, like and, so, because, if, why. So you or as well. So you have to be careful. When do you use what? And is to join two different sentences together. Just simply join them. So is when one sentence is dependent on the other sentence, and or is when you have an option. Okay, so that's when you must be careful while you're choosing a conjunction, which one is the one that you are choosing and whether it is applicable to your situation or not. Alrighty, so now we're moving on to the last segment of the story, okay, to see what exactly is going to happen next. I need all of your focus right here on my screen in case you're getting restless. Please, I need your focus back on screen. And we're going to go back to the story and see what's going to happen next.
Vous voulez retrouver le goût de l'authentique? La judicieuse. Il faut pas 15 ans pour les manger. Michel, tu m'as tant manqué. Je ne sais ce qui me pousse vers toi.
Oh, Magnus, notre amour est impossible. Car j'ai découvert que je suis ton frère siamois, séparé à l'âge de 2 ans. Et j'ai aussi découvert que ton père est aussi le mien.
Oh, Michel!
Alrighty. So I think the last segment was really cute and very adorable because it showed reunion, right? Of the two friends. Once again, they're back to being friends again. All right. So let's watch it and see what's happening here. We have the old man who is probably really tired from a day's work of trapping the mouse and trying to convince him, etc., etc. And he's wearing his bathrobe and he has his night lamp on. He's in his night suit ready to crash, and he's also got the television running. They're speaking something in French. All right, and that's when his friend the mouse arrives, and he's seen some breadcrumbs or some food crumbs on his bathrobe and is really curious to go and eat it. So my presumption is that the crumbs were put there on purpose so that the mouse would end there, but we never know. That's the story, right? That's left to the viewer. And this little mouse is on his shoulder and he's sniffing him, and they have this really cute moment because later on we find out that the old man is really not asleep. So the mouse is looking at him like such an adorable manner. I think they have a real bond here. It's really cute. And here you see that the old man wasn't really sleeping. He was just tricking the mouse into believing that he was sleeping so that he would actually come there and not be afraid of him anymore. So this really cute moment is really heartwarming. The old man went to sleep with a happy mood, with a smile on his face, because he's finally got his friend back. And that's all that matters, right? I mean, the whole day they were having this sort of an unspoken argument, and now they're back again. They're back on track. So, thanks to the box, everything has fallen into place. Okay, super. So, we're going to go to the next quiz now. It is put for you on the chat box. You can click on the link enter your name. So I think the name should be autofill by now. And you can click on start game, play the quiz, and come back once you're done. You can put done in the chat box or just give me a thumbs up and let me know if you're done. Let me know if the quiz was easy, if it was difficult, and what your score was. All right, I'll give you 2 minutes to finish with the quiz. Okay, I see most of you are working on the quiz. Great. Great, I can see some of you are done with the quiz as well. Just waiting for everybody to finish. All right. I can see most of you are done with the quiz. And we can now move on to discussing it and seeing how you did, all right? To anyone asking doubts related to the assignment, just hold on. We're going to come to that once we're done. What was the old man doing? Pretending to sleep, eating dinner. That was easy, pretending to sleep. Why did the mouse climb the shoulder of the old man? To bite the old man, to eat the crumbs of his shoulder. Of course, to eat the crumbs of his shoulder. Did the old man care for the mouse? No, yes. Of course he can. What is the another word for special liking for something? Is it detest, fondness, or hatred? A special liking for something. It is fondness. Yes. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. The little mouse climbed the old man's shoulders. Identify the part of speech. So there's little and there is old. They are describing the noun. So it's going to be adjective, right? This is like so easy for you, right? So we all got 5 on 5. Awesome. Okay, so I have one more quiz that I'm going to be putting for you in the chat box. That's an entirely grammar-related quiz. Okay, you have stuff like subject and predicate and adjectives that came up during our discussion while I was narrating the story. So you can attempt that quiz right now. The link is in the chat box. Okay, click on it and let me know whenever you're done. Just give me a thumbs up or write down in the chat box and I'll know, all right? This one's just to evaluate your grammar understanding and where you stand when it comes to school and your grammar concepts, whether you've understood them or not, okay? So you can see that some of you are done with it already. That was quick. I'm waiting for everybody else to get done with it as well so that we can discuss the answers together, right? Okay, so let's start with our discussion for the last quiz for today. Let's see how you. Okay. Mice like to eat breadcrumbs lying around the house. Choose the predicate. Like to eat breadcrumbs lying around the house. Mice like to eat lying around. Like to eat breadcrumbs. Okay. So it's going to be the part of the sentence which supports the subject, right? So it is like to eat breadcrumbs lying around the house. So the subject is mice, correct? Because we're talking about mice right here. The mouse and the old man lived happily ever after. Once again, you need to choose the subject or the predicate. You have to choose um, the subject. Yes, the mouse and the old man lived happily ever after. So what are the subjects here? The mouse and the old man. All right, so you have to choose the subject here. Yes, you were confused. The old man was sleeping on the chair. Choose the predicate. The old man was sleeping on the chair. Of course, it's going to be was sleeping on the chair because that is what is supporting the subject, the old man. The mouse ate some crumb from the table. Okay, what does some stand for? Does it stand for interrogative adjective? Is it adjective of quality or is it adjective of quantity? Some. Of course, it is an adjective, but what type of adjective? It is adjective of quantity because it's not a lot of crumbs, but it is some crumbs. Not a few either, but it's some. Right? Yay! Back twice the points for one question. Awesome. Why did the old man trap me? Thought the little mouse. So what is why? Is it like an interrogative adjective, adjective of quality, or adjective of quantity? It is interrogative because it's a question, right? Whenever you ask the question, what, why, how, when, it's going to be interrogative. Outside the house lived a scary rat. Sorry, cat. Okay. Is it adjective of quality, adjective of quantity, or interrogative adjective? So this one is scary cat, right? So it is an adjective, of course. But what is it telling us about the cat? It's telling us the quality, right? So it's got to be adjective of quality. The box was dash at the old man. Choose the right degree of comparison. Box was dash at the old man. The box was angry at the old man. Yes. The little mouse was dash than the old man. Choose the right degree of comparison. Was he smallest than the old man or was he smaller? There is a comparison taking place here, right? Between the little mouse and the old man. It's comparison. So it's got to be comparative degree. And comparative degree always is ending in ER. So it's going to be smaller, right? Okay. So I see this quiz was quite long and some of you were still doing it while we were discussing. But that's okay. Not an issue. I think all of you did really well, did amazing, and I hope that you are looking forward to the next session as well. I really enjoyed this class today, and I hope you enjoyed it as much. And I hope you learned something new today as well. But before we go, we have to know what is the assignment that we need to do, correct? So I'm going to be sharing my screen and showing you what is your assignment for the week, which you need to submit to me in 2 days. Right? If you don't submit it on time, I'm not going to check it. And I'm not going to receive it in the first place. So forget checking. I'm not going to receive it. So please, I'm asking you to submit it on time. And I want each of you to submit it so that I can check it, all right? Okay, super. So assignment for the week, which you need to submit in 2 days on our website. You need to write the answers to the following 4 questions in 4 crisp sentences, okay? Where was the box kept? What animal was in the box? What is the color of the animal? And what are the 2 characters in the story? Okay, so you need to answer these 4 questions for me. Of course, your personal details need to be filled as well, so I know who is writing it. And you can also write the answers to these questions and share them with me. You have 2 days from today to submit the homework to me. All right. Thank you so much for coming to class today. And I hope you come again for English class once again with Niva ma'am. All right. I'll see you again. Bye bye.
How to submit your work after this class. Open live.uro.com in any browser. Explore classes that you can register for. Click on Submit your work. Choose the name of the student to register for the class. Click on Submit your work. Upload image. Choose image and click on Submit. Explore your work under My Submissions. Like and share your work by copying the link. Please upload your pictures in landscape mode. Click a picture with your work and post it on Facebook and Instagram. Don't forget to tag us at YOLO app. Use hashtags #YOLO app and #YOLO learning.